We got 3 more we've got to do here.
Yep, and one of them I think we're going to interview when we get down to them too.
Yes, sir.
So we'll get to that here in a second. So
we sure will.
Yep, I will let you do the track announcer one here. So jump on in there.
Actually, I'm gonna throw another one in there that I just happened to think about. But the first one that we had to nominate was from CMS, and of course that's Sam Sticklin, however you pronounce that.
Yep.
I never say it right.
Me either.
But Alan Steeler Miller, and of course he's a big Pittsburgh fan, so that's where the Steeler comes from, in case you wonder where that is.
Yeah.
But then that's from CMS, and from I-35, well, we got Rick Staley and Jacob Blair, and then I wanted to add 36 with you and your boy Alan. Because you guys have done it enough together, it's almost like,
it's clockwork for me and him,
But I want to throw you guys in there too. But
and let's talk about Jacob Blair for a second. He kind of came out of nowhere. People remember him more for the driver of car number 81 B Modified. He was the Rookie of the Year at I-35 Speedway 2 years ago in the E-Modified division, moved up to B-Modified, but Jacob Blair, a young man that's going to college for announcing and going to make a career out of announcing, and he will be announcing I-35 Speedway next year, as I have chose a different direction to go in 2018.
Wish him the best.
Yeah, wish him the very best, nothing but the best for I-35 Speedway, but Jacob Blair will be taking over the duties there, and I'll tell you what, this young man, when he burst onto the scene, shy, quiet guy, kind of like myself.
Yeah, right.
No, actually he was, and you would think there's no way this guy is going to be able to do what he does. Very good, very informative, good rhythm to what he does and everything, very entertaining to the crowd. Jacob Blair, you're going to hear a lot about him in the future. Don't be surprised to see big things out of him. So.
I was going to talk about you guys, but that's okay. You did a good job. But Sam and Alan down at CMS, 2 of the long-standing announcers in the area that I think just do an excellent job. Of course, I have my little criteria. Of course, part of it is for the video. I want you to tell me who the first 3 are. You know, keep me informed on the yellow flags, stuff like that. But, of course, the other part of it is kind of partially entertaining the crowd at the races, but they want to know that stuff too. Who's leading? Who's in second? Who's in third? What's going on? What's happening? Anybody hurt? Stuff like that. But like I say, Sam and Alan, they've done it for a long time, and I give them kudos. You know, they do a really great job. And there again, talking about you and Jacob, it seemed like if I hadn't have known better, I'd known you two had done this forever. Because the way you guys, when you start them car or driver introductions, you'll do one, and man, he's right on top of you, and then you're there. Just a terrific job. And this is such a toss-up. And you and Alan, too. I should mention Alan. It's the same way with Alan. Alan's doing a good job on his own.
SCS.
Up at Atchison, him and the guy that announces with him up there.
Grant.
But, man, this is so tough. I'm going to really stick my neck out here a little bit. I think it's not really sticking my neck out because everybody's good, but I'm going with you and Jacob. I'm picking you guys as the track announcers of the year.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored. I tell you, to even be mentioned in the same, how you say it, even be mentioned in the same group as Sam Sticklin and Alan Miller is just a privilege. You know, Alan, my son, very proud of him. I tell you, I've always told everybody he's much better than I am. Alan is. He is one of the great announcers. Jacob Blair, a young announcer too, that came to me 1 year ago and asked if he could try it. Well, you know me, I even had a 7-year-old in the booth with me this year announcing up there too, and a lot of fun doing that. I believe in helping people all I can to get a start in this, because how do you say it? Some guys like you are getting older in this field, Mike. Now me, I'm on age, you know. But we need the young people coming on, and Jacob Blair is going to be one of the best.
Yeah, I think so too.
But thank you very much. Very honored.
He'll do well up there. And congratulations to you also, Jacob, for being a first-timer and getting up here. You're not going to be the only first-timer tonight
no.
that's going to win something. So congratulations. And Rick, I think I'd like to stick down to track of the year, and then we'll come back for the other one, and we'll kind of announce those, and then you can do your thing.
Okay, well,
go ahead.
US 36 Raceway burst on the scene this year, a resurgence of that racetrack under new leadership as Bowler Motorsports, John and Beth Bowler taking the reins of it. They knew the challenge and the financial, challenge it was going to take to run this racetrack. They never batted an eye.
Right.
They went in at full force. They done things that most people won't do, but track always clean, everything, just a pretty good facility.
I put that wrong.
US 36 Raceway, I tell you what, I'm glad to see it nominated as Track of the Year because John Bowler done a great job.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. If nothing else, it'd give race fans another choice on Friday night.
An option.
Which I'm not, snagging Lakeside or anything, but I mean, a lot of people up north, that's a pretty long drive.
It is.
East of there. But it just give everybody another option, but let alone the job that they did to come in the first year and be able to put together the essentials that you've got to have to run the track. I mean, it's everything from people in the pits to the concession.
Scores, track workers, push trucks, because when you have the sprint cars there, you can't wait to get them out on the track. Push trucks, lining all that up, going to an active website, going to an active Facebook site, all the things that John had to do to get this track up and running. People think you just come there, show up and race on a Friday night. It is not that way.
It all happens.
It is 100% work and effort. Painted all the bleachers, him and Beth working, and as a family there, painted all the bleachers, even had a family section there at US 36 Raceway, that if anybody didn't want to be around the alcohol or the smoking, they could go that family section. It was painted white, and you can even see it from 36 when you drive by now, the beautiful painted bleachers, but and all the work and effort that went in. Nobody realizes what goes on behind the scenes.
No, they don't. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Move on to Central Missouri Speedway. Of course, that's Wall's production, and of course Earl and Susan have been at that for
ever since Moby Dick was a minnow.
A long time. But there again, only they've got a seasoned crew, we'll call it, of people that have worked with them year after year after year, and the place looks good. There, like I say, restrooms. I know people probably think you shouldn't even mention that on a deal like this, but it's important, particularly to the ladies.
It's a necessity.
I think, more than it is to the men, but it's an important deal. Concessions, just the appearance of the place, and like I say, just the people that you have to work with when you're there, either racer or fan.
And I've always heard one thing about CMS, it's the professionalism of the way the track's run and everything by Earl. And that's a good thing. And you know that Sam and Alan always add to it when they're there. So very good facility, CMS, Central Missouri Speedway.
If you'd like to talk about 35, go ahead.
I-35 Speedway, I tell you what, Mike and Kyle Johnson up there, the first thing I notice whenever you go to that facility is how clean that facility always is. I mean, you don't even see a cigarette butt laying on the ground. They keep that place cleaned up to perfection. Track is always in good shape. Mike works really hard at that. The pits, expanded the pits, always making improvements up there. The trackside bar and grill, always good food there. Got the suites working for them and everything. Added bleachers this year, added a new catwalk, which is a beautiful view of the racing facility. You can see anywhere you want to see from that catwalk, and it overlooks the pits also, so you can look back and possibly you see your favorite driver and crew at work and everything. But I-35 Speedway, just a top-notch facility, nice, clean facility.
There again, another tough choice. All three are small racing facilities in comparison to Lakeside, and so far we just haven't got Lakeside in there, but I'm sure that it's going to happen sooner or later. But just a really tough decision. But if I had to pick one, I think we gave it to I-35 2 years ago, and this year I think I'm going to go with Central Missouri Speedway, just because it's such a great place to go. Terrific racing, car counts are good, like I say, good people. It's not that these other two are that much worse. They certainly aren't. It's just that we've got to pick one, and we're going to go with CMS this year.
Congratulations, Central Missouri Speedway.
Susan and Earl, congratulations. Have a fun time coming down there. Always get treated well. I don't know what else to say other than congratulations on being the Track of the Year for 2017.
That's quite the honor.
Yes, it is.
Quite the honor. Beat out a lot of other good tracks. So.
Yes. Without a doubt.
Now are we ready to go back to
Track Promoter?
Track Promoter.
There again, you're going to hear some same names. So we'll just run through them real quick. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay, CMS, Earl Susan Walls, promoters at CMS Speedway, Central Missouri Speedway. And I'll tell you what, guys, you just heard us talk about how good the track and everything was. Not a whole lot more needs to be said.
Yes.
Bring specials to the track. That's always very important.
Yeah.
I-35 Speedway, Mike and Kyle Johnson, again, bringing specials. Had the Nationals there this year. Always working to improve the facility and everything. They're nominated for Track Promoter of the Year.
Yeah.
US 36 Raceway, John and Beth Bowler were promoted, and to go from actually from nothing to something, they did have the track and the facility, but they had to do the rest.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, from what they started with to where they ended, and big things coming in 2018, a 2-year contract signed for them. John and Beth Bowler doing really great at US 36 to bring that track to the level it's at.
Without saying any more, I just say let's give it to John and Beth for a first-year operation. I don't know what more you can say to come in and be able to do what they've done.
And bringing in the sprint cars, doing the different things that John and Beth have done and everything, and cheapest concessions of anyone around also. Let veterans in free on one night of racing action. Let school teachers in on back to school night. Let them in free. Let firefighters in free. Let well, I just can't think of everybody we did let in. Police officers, first responders. Also let corrections workers, officers, let all them in free one night.
Wow.
And just the things he done. Fun night, only charged $5 at the gate to let people in for fun night. And we gave away, how do you say it, more candy and bicycles and things like that night than the $5 would have took care of. But John and Beth Bowler, such a great job at US 36 Raceway. Congratulations, John.
I think the one that impressed me about the Bowlers this year up at 36 was the deal where they were having a little trouble with the car count on the sprint cars. And he made the offer, something was, if you don't have 15 cars, you get in free the next week.
Get in free the next week.
And I thought,
sure did.
I've never heard of that. You got to be kidding me.
He sure did. He did that, and he was going to stand up to his word too. But luckily, we had enough War Series sprint cars there that he did not have to do that. But he sure did. And bringing in Race Saver sprint cars every Friday night next year for 2018.
I'm going to let you guys talk about that.
We'll
John, come on
get
over
John
here, buddy.
in here, and we will discuss all that.
Just watch the wires, but you can step in there and take my place.
And watch out for the guy interviewing you.
Congratulations.
John, congratulations first of all on Promoter of the Year. Very nice job at US 36 Raceway. I know you've got a lot of big plans for 2018 and 2019. 2-year contract been signed, and there's a lot of other things going on with that, so fill us in.
We're going to run IMCA, full-blown IMCA at the US 36 every Friday night, and starting in May, every other Saturday night, we're going to run the Bethany Fair Speedway under IMCA.
And you're looking at 36, you're going to be looking at the Race Saver sprint cars, wing sprint cars.
Every Friday night.
And then you're also looking at the A Modifieds, IMCA, IMCA Sport Mods, IMCA stock cars, pure stock, and E Modifieds. Now, you did leave the pure stock and the E Modifieds the same because you made them a promise when you opened this racetrack that you would leave the rules alone.
I promised them 3 years, and I'm going to stick with that. They got 2 years left, and then we'll see what happens then. But my pure stock has just grown, so I don't see ever seeing change in that. The E-Mods is pretty close to the Sport Mods now, so we're going to give them their 2 more years like I promised them, and we'll just see how it goes. If they continue to keep running E-Mods, we'll keep having them.
And I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what, not a bad first year, actually. I'm going to call it for in the driver's seat of a racetrack like that. Kind of an eye-opening experience for you, really, though. A lot more to it than what you first anticipated.
Yeah, a lot more. I didn't dream all the work that had to go into it. I've been racing for 30-plus years and never dreamed about all the work that had to be done. And
so it's not just pull up, unload the car, and go racing. It's not.
Yeah, it's not like I thought. Open the gates up, throw a little water on, and go racing.
And you did.
It didn't work.
And you did come out from behind the wheel of the race car, actually compromising what you love to do, actually, because you are a wheel man. That's why we call you the boss man. You get behind the wheel of a race car. You're the only person that can boast a perfect season at US 36 Raceway. You almost pulled it off 2 years in a row, but in the pure stock division, you won every heat race and every feature in 2007?
2006.
2006.
2005, only lost one.
Only lost one. Last race of the year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
David Powell came up from Lakeside and we had a heck of a race, but he beat me.
And I tell you what, to see you now running that racetrack, it's a whole different role for you, but the same competitive attitude and the same I'm going to do things right attitude goes toward the racetrack now that you run it too.
Yeah, my first thought was we got to do something to save our sport, and the cost is getting out of hand, and to get the young people back.
Yeah.
You know, when I started racing, there's lots of us. You know, they might only last a couple of years, but there's lots of drivers nowadays. Our sport, we're in trouble, in my opinion, and we got to get the young guys back. And we got to get everybody involved. And it's more of a family thing. I know when I started racing, there wasn't women in the pits. Now you got your families in there, everybody's in there, and it's kind of changed. So that's why I switched to IMCA. I think for economy-wise, it's a lot cheaper for the racer. And it was going through a transition year now with USRA making their big changes. And if I stayed at IMCA, we didn't have to make those changes. So it's going to save guys money, and you don't got to pay near as much as you do USRA either. So that should help us. And bringing these wing sprint cars in, that's going to be our ticket. I really believe that. People, everybody in the country will come and watch them sprint cars.
Well, US 36 Raceway, when that track was built, it was built for sprint cars.
Yeah.
They had the 410 sprint cars there on a weekly basis and everything. You had the guys coming down from Knoxville and everything. So actually, you're just more or less bringing back the sprint cars to what that track was originally built for.
Yeah, Mike Franks built that with sprint cars in mind. He kind of copied it pretty much off Eagle, from what he's told me, and he built it for sprint cars.
Yeah.
So it's built for sprint cars, and in order to get the entertainment value, you got to have sprint cars.
Yeah.
Because people love to watch them sprint cars.
Yeah. I tell you, we saw a lot of good racing there this year. Overall, the track was good all year. One bad night, had a few rough spots in it. But all in all, and that was another learning curve for you, was to learn what to do to that racetrack. And sometimes it's still a crapshoot when you have the rain during the week and everything. But still, you were able to put a good racetrack out there for them to compete on week after week.
Yeah, I had one really bad racetrack, and on social media nowadays, that'll kill you.
Yeah.
It was Memorial Day weekend. It rained all week. We got the track prep Thursday. It was ready to go. Worked on it for 2 straight days. Friday night, 3 o'clock in the morning, got like an inch of rain. Sunny and 90 degrees. It looked good, but underneath it was too soft.
And 113 cars in the pits that night.
Hindsight,
and the track just kind of.
I should have canceled, but I had all these people there saying, "It's sunny and 90. We got to race." So, and some things I learned to do different that I could have still prepared the track better that day that I didn't know. But it was my second night out, so I learned a lot.
And how you say it, chalk that one up, is a learning experience.
Learning
just
experience,
happens.
yeah. And that was a tough one because social media really ringed us that day.
It did. It got us some. But still, you battled back. And by the end of the year, still decent crowds, still decent car counts. And I tell you what, let's talk a little bit about fun night, something you kind of brought back with the powder puff derbies, the mechanics race, and things like that. That was probably the most unorganized chaos I've ever seen to be that much fun.
Oh, I tell you what, yeah. Everybody wanted to know when they got to race, and people never raced before, and the women there, it was a cluster, but boy, they had fun.
Yeah, and it was how do you say it, our lineup guy to start with was lacking just a little bit, but once we made that change, everything worked out a whole lot better. We won't mention no names.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what a night, what a fun everybody had. It was such a hit. You have had ladies coming to you asking to run a powder puff once a month.
We're going to run it once a month.
So that is going to be a lot of fun up there too, to see those ladies back behind the wheel, because some of them really fooled you and impressed you. Never been in a race car before, was out there turning some pretty good laps and turning some pretty good donuts in the infield when they spin out.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun.
My wife said you had time of her life. Can't wait to do it again. So
that's great. Got a lot of special shows coming up for 2018. Are there any that you're ready to reveal here today? Or
Saturday the 14th of April will be our first special, I guess I would say. We are going to try to get one in on the 7th, which is another Saturday night, but we ain't got that scheduled yet. But the 14th, we're bringing in the Race Saver Sprint Cars, which will pay a good purse, basically with the purse that I advertised there in October when we got rained out. And we're going to have the iPowered Casey Schumann Sprint Cars there also. That'll be our first sprint car show of the year.
And Casey Schumann, just a reminder to everybody that is listening out there, they brought us 20 sprint cars, 21 sprint cars when they were there for their one and only show there.
Right.
They were the ones you were making the guarantee on that if they didn't bring that many sprint cars, you're going to let everybody in free next week. So, and I'm going to talk about something else as a promoter that you've done that I thought was very impressive and it didn't go unnoticed, especially by those that won it. The ones that won the track championship at US 36 Raceway, they got a free pit pass for 2018 at US 36 Raceway.
And we're going to do that every year we own the place. They'll get him free next year to defend their championship.
I don't think a lot of people realize the value of that. They say, oh, they're letting them in free. Well, see, you also have to send that money to IMCA, and you still got to pay that purse and everything. But I tell you what, that is over an $800 to $1,000 value that you just gave that driver.
A lot better than a jacket.
Yeah, he done that too. And also, let's give a plug to Dale Eaton while we're talking about that. Dale Eaton made some beautiful banners with the pictures of each champion on it, and we gave those to each champion too at US 36. And how you say it, that was another kind of laid back fun night. Was our banquet, you know. Didn't see many suit and ties there, but we had a good time that night, a lot of fun.
And that'll always be free too.
Yeah,
for my drivers. So
and,
you never have to pay to come and get your trophy at my banquet.
And I'll tell you what, John, you have done the right things, and a big year coming up. Let's talk a little bit about Bethany Speedway. As that track has been idle for so many years up there, you're going to run a 10-race series, and I want to make sure we understand that's not counting.
No, that's counting the fair.
That is counting the fair. Okay, I wanted to clear that up. There was some questions on that, you know. But a 10-race series up at Bethany, we will see up there IMCA Modifieds, A-Mods, IMCA B Modifieds, IMCA Sport Mods, IMCA Stock Cars, Pure Stock, and E Modifieds. 5 classes, correct?
Yes.
Will you bring in any specials up at Bethany Speedway?
Well, we're still working on that.
Okay.
But we're going to try to bring in something. So,
yep.
But that's been a tough sell up there for the
guys
that's tried it. So we're going to try it, and I figured the best bet would be to partner up with myself.
Yeah.
Have my own 2 tracks to partner up with, and go IMCA at both of them, and
yeah.
I only got one person to blame, myself.
Yeah. Well, that announcer. I'm just saying. But anyway, how do you say it about Bethany? It's been tried on Friday nights. It's been tried on Sunday afternoons, but it has not been tried for a 10-race series on Saturday nights. So it is a good effort to pull in some people out of Iowa that don't want to make long pulls or anything, and IMCA sanction. Hopefully it's going to be a big success.
I think it will be.
Okay.
You know, the success we've had at the fair since I've been running it, the car count's doubled since I've been running it up there. So, and if we're doing good at our track, most of the guys are going to pull over there.
Yeah.
And there's another track that could be IMCA, and if they do, that's just going to be even more cars. So.
And I want to talk a little bit about the fair board, the things that they have done. They're at the racetrack. They put a new front wall in. They have done so much work and effort improving the facilities there at Bethany Speedway that it is a top-notch facility now.
Oh man, it's nice.
Roof over the grandstands, so you don't have to worry about the sun bearing down on you. You know, if it was to come a shower, you're protected in there. Just a good facility all the way around is Bethany.
Yeah, and in the last couple of years, they spent $200,000 or $300,000 up there making their facility better. So, and because they use it for concerts and other things, so it's really nice up there.
And I did get confirmation from somebody this week. We are going to run a few Power Wheels races up at Bethany on that area where they have their tractor pull and everything. So we are going to do that during intermission. Got some stuff coming up. I do have a sponsor for that. Robbie Skipper is going to sponsor the Power Wheels up there. So it's going to be a lot of fun up at Bethany this year.
Okay.
So,
slip back in there.
All right. Thank you very much, John. And again, congratulations on Promoter of the Year.
Way to go, John. Congratulations, buddy. It was a great year.
And thank you for what you do for the racing world.
Well, Rick, great year for 2017, kind of like we talked about.
Yeah.
Some winners, some losers.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this too. I want to thank you at Cheeseworks Video for all you do for the racing community. how you say, it's one of those things you don't have to do.
Yeah.
But you and Leroy, let's give a shout out to Leroy
I was
Morrison, because he does such a great job coming in, the Candyman.
Yeah.
Not only is he a racer, he also is good with that video camera. Now his dad shakes a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what,
we're working on it.
yeah, need to get him a pedestal. You know? But I'll tell you what, they both do a great job
Yeah.
for us. They race also, and they're always giving candy away. People sponsor candies for them to give away. That's the name, Candyman and everything. But you've got a good crew, and you do a great job, Mike.
Well, thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. I've always said it's always been fun. I always enjoyed doing it, and the racers always treat us good. I know that's one thing I've been hearing from Leroy and Curtis, especially coming up to 35, as much as they were up there, was how well they were treated up there. And I want to shout out to I-35 to Kyle and Mike for, giving those guys a warm reception up there, especially Leroy in his first year. He learned a lot. He did a really good job. Like I say, we're working on Curtis. We'll get him.
We love you, Curtis.
Yeah, we'll get him going. I told him, I said, next year I'm probably going to buy you a Cheese Works shirt. And he says, well, make sure it's a double extra large. So I've got to find one that big.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, he's like me. I have to have extra chunky.
But anyway, big congratulations to everybody. And once again, I apologize if we left your guy out. I'm sorry. But there's always next year.
Yeah.
And that's what I say to all the racers is, 2018, you don't know what is going to hold out there for you for track-wise or whatever. But, get your stuff together and get educated and get some more information. And that'll get you there. I think that's what works.
It is. It is exactly what works. Also, there's a wealth of knowledge in the people like John Bowler. They're always willing to help you and everything. There's some other things I could say he done for drivers behind the scene, like one guy that wrecked a car ended up with a chassis, put it that way. But John does so much, and other promoters do too. They do a whole lot for the racing community behind the scenes that people don't know about.
One thing we forgot, and we may have to add this if we do this again next year, is we need to come up with a sponsor of the year, because let's face it, a lot of this racing can't be done without sponsors. I don't care whether it's on the track level, the racer level, or where you want to go with it. But if we didn't have these sponsors and the money that they provide.
And you talking about one of the greatest sponsors right here is Dale Eaton with Napa Auto Parts, Pickup and Race Haven, Collision Repair, Eye Candy Graphics, Glass Doctor, just so many things that Dale Eaton is involved in and everything. But just a great sponsor is Napa Auto Parts in St. Joe here.
Folks, that's going to wrap it up for 2017. I know we've still got, I think, one banquet left as of the date of this taping. A carb banquet, I think, is still left.
Yeah, will be December the 2nd.
And that's this Saturday, so if you want to go, I think you might still be able to get a ticket. I'm not sure.
Should be able to. I think it's going to be a big banquet this year, because they said it sold over 300 tickets.
Yeah,
So.
but I talked to Skip Richards last night, and I think he said the closing date for purchasing tickets was last Friday. So you can still give them a call or show up. I don't know if they'll turn you away or not. They probably won't like me for that, will they? But anyway, that's going to do it for 2017, folks. Hope you enjoyed the program. Rick, man, I appreciate you and your time for coming down here and doing this. We meet about halfway here in St. Joe.
Yeah, and
it's a pleasure.
And thank you for involving me. I love the sport so much, and I really enjoy it whenever I can be a part of Cheese Works video.
Yeah, that's going to do it, folks. Hope you have a good racing year next year in 2018.
See you.
Bye-bye.